Hi, welcome back to First Aid with Jay. We're here for another video. Today I'm going to be going over approaching a situation using DRAB, D-R-A-B, DRAB. That's right. Okay, so first of all, you got to look for danger. So check around you. You see if there's any dangers around you or to the casualty. Try to think and make the scene as safe as possible. Look for things that could be at play. Remember, the most important person in this situation is you. Make sure that you are okay first before anyone else is, because you're the one that's healthy and you're the one that's going to be doing the first aid. You don't need to make another casualty, because there's always a chance that you might not be able to save someone, but you should never ever put yourself in a situation where you could get harmed. So that's like the really important thing. So always look for danger. And that'll also help you, if you keep yourself safe, that'll help you be able to help the victims too. The next thing is just response. So look for, if you find a victim, you go up to them and you talk to them. You can shout, yell loudly, or shake them gently, or like if the person, like check, you want to see if the person can give you a response. So whether that's like a verbal response, they can talk to you. Sometimes they might not be able to talk to you because their airway is blocked. So in that case, you're gonna like see if they can give you like a communication back. So you could ask, like, say, hey, do you understand what I'm saying? If you do, like, squeeze my hand 2 times or something like that. And if they can, that's a good sign, at least. If they can't, and you can tell that they're unconscious, that can make things a little more serious. So yeah, just always check for responsiveness or lack of responsiveness, and then yeah, if someone's unconscious, that's 90% time that could be a pretty serious medical emergency, and it can be for a variety of different reasons. You know someone's unconscious when they go, like, the medical term, like, floppy. So if they don't move, if they're kind of just dangling, like their muscles they're not with it, it's just kind of like laying down and they're kind of in whatever position. So in this case, one thing that's really important is to check the victim's tongue. So check the tongue, because the tongue can actually get in front of their airway and block it. So just, if you can, make sure they're laid down and tilt their head to the side and gently open it, and then just make sure so their tongue doesn't roll back and block their airway, so they can't breathe anymore. And then that brings us to our next part of DRAB, the A, which stands for airway. Make sure that the victim's airway is open and being used. So first of all, you want to check for breathing. If they're breathing, that's a good sign. If they are not breathing, you need to check the airway. So first of all, look in their mouth, see if there's anything that's blocking it, possibly in their throat. If there's tongue, move it out of the way, like I said earlier. If it's like a piece of food or something, you need to carefully remove it. And just the best way to just open up the airway is just tilt the head backwards and lift the chin. Just use 2 fingers, and that's the best way to do it. With little kids too, same thing. You take 2 fingers and you lift the head up and make sure their airway is open. So for breathing, put your So for breathing, when you check, you should check for 10 seconds. Sorry, the B is in DRAB. That's the last letter of DRAB. Check for breathing. So you check if they're breathing normally, and then you can perform the appropriate first aid treatment from there. And I'll just go over the four parts of DRAB one more time. So there's D, which stands for danger. Check for danger. Make sure yourself's not in danger. Make sure no one else is in danger, no bystanders. The second is response. So check for response. See, hey, can you respond to me? Is it like, see if you can get a verbal response, or maybe not a verbal response. Like they'll they'll physically move back to you. And if not, then you probably know that they're unconscious and you need to make the next step. The third is, remember, is airway. Check the airway, make sure there's nothing blocking it, like especially their tongue. And then fourth is breathing. Make sure that they're breathing. You can check for 10 seconds, just listening to their breath, seeing if their chest moves up and down. And yeah, that's all I have for DRAB or assessing a victim situation. Thanks for tuning in, and see you guys in the next video.